Hey, good looking. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kendra Morgan Official, and I like to put out content weekly centered around makeup brushes that aren't Morphe, single eyeshadows, and sunscreen. So if I'm your vibe, make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get started. But before we get started, I just want to make a little personal shout out to a fellow subscriber. I think she was one of my top 15 subscribers since I started my channel, and she has watched faithfully every single one of my videos. I don't know if I have permission to call her name out or anything like that, so I am not, but you know who you are, you know. And she asked if she could send me some makeup dupes that she had bought, and she's also, little did she know, she's also the person that kind of inspired me to start my eyeshadow inventory so that I could keep track and not buy doubles of eyeshadows like I've done. And she asked if she could send some single eyeshadows, so she did. So thank you so much. You know who you are. They will be featured on my channel, no doubt, because they are some gorgeous shades. And if nobody else in this world this year decides to use a shadow like that, I'm gonna make it fit. Okay. But she also sent me, and we share the same love, a Sydney Grace loose highlighter in the shade Whipped Berry, which if you guys watched my last video where I show you, oh, it goes over here, sorry. I'll link it in the eye down below, but I broke the highlighters. Well, they were already broke, but then they fell out. So I needed something to replace it anyways. And this is gonna be it. This is great. Okay, so this is a Whipped Berry highlighter, and it looks almost like a blush topper. I am using My Destiny, a Chinese artisan brush that I bought last year. It's the My Destiny, doesn't have a number. I'll link it down below. I will. Hopefully I don't forget. But yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Just gonna add a little bit. Do you see that? It's just borderline, might be a little bit slightly dark for me in the wintertime, but it'll be perfect for the summertime. Oh, so beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm your vibe. Make sure you subscribe. Today I will be duping the Kaleidos collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, I think is her last name. I don't know. I watched a couple of her videos. I don't know how she pronounces her last name. I'm really, truly sorry. It is the Club Nebula Palette. And here I have for you guys the dupe right here. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I've already posted it in the swatches. And so thankful that somebody actually thought that I got the palette. Like I received PR or something like that. But she actually thought that I had the palette, and I said, no, these are just my dupes. Without any further ado, let's get started on what these shadows are, get a look going on my eyes, and show you guys how I dupe the Club Nebula Palette by Kaleidos Angelica Nyqvist. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first shade that I take out in the palette, let me go ahead and do all the shades and give you guys a rundown. I was so thankful that I had placed a Looxi Beauty order because Looxi was here for the gold. This one took the cake. I used a couple Sydney Grace shadows, but primarily Looxi Beauty, a couple Terra Moons, some Makeup Geek, and Coastal Scents. Coastal Scents saved the day on a couple of these shadows as well, because I just don't think I would have found anything like remotely close to what Angie uses in her palette. First shade that I took was from Looxi Beauty, and it is the shade Aquarius. This shadow is described as more of a light green with a duochrome shift. I watched Angie's video, and there was quite a few times where I think all of her shadows are shimmer shades, and they're all duochromes. I think that with lighting the way it is, see how I have that? Well, I can see the shift, but you might not be able to on the camera. But anyways, I couldn't see a lot of her shifts, but she describes them, so I just tried to find shadows that fit the description she was giving me. So sometimes I don't know if they match the swatch exactly, but there you have it. The next shadow, Coastal Scents, is Blue Hawaiian. It dupes the shade 7 of 9. Just really not too much. Now this is a satin formula, so I think hers is a matte formula. And just really, really beautiful Hawaiian blue color. The satins perform like mattes in the Coastal Scents shadow. Some satins perform more like shimmers and some are closer to mattes, and Coastal Scents are closer to mattes. Makeup Geeks are closer to a shimmer, so a lot of times I use the satins for Makeup Geek as a shimmer replacement, but for Coastal Scents it'd be satin close to a matte. To dupe the shade Gravity in Angie's palette, I use the shade Python Green, and this also appears in my BH Cosmetics Pistachio palette, which I'll go ahead and link in the eye for you guys right now, so you can go and check out that video if you haven't already. But it shows to be a very, very vibrant green. Again, this one leans a little bit more yellow in both the Pistachio and Angie's palette, but I just feel like it's so beautiful. It swatches really great. I do have to layer it twice for the swatches, but other than that, it's really, really beautiful. Don't have too much else to say about it. Again, showing up for the second consecutive time in 2021, Sydney Grace is Thrilled is duping Queen of Blades. And it's just a marvelous like aqua green shade, forest green shade. Found it to be really, really good. I like to use it when I blend. I don't really like to pack it on because I guess I'm just not that kind of a person that can work well with that. I guess I don't work well under pressure like that. So to dupe Angie's Void Shadow, I use none other than Looxi Beauty's Complicated. Angie's palette, Club Nebula, has 9 matte shadows, and then it would be 6 shimmer / duochromes. I think they're all duochromes. I went ahead and made one of the shades another shimmer, and we'll go through that when the time comes. But just to let you guys know, so mine's gonna be 8 and 6. And I think that gives just a little bit better of a ratio. We've all got enough mattes. I feel like 2020 was the year of mattes. Let's hit the shimmers hard, all right? All right, let's start it on the second row. Looxi Beauty's Charmed dupes the shade You're My Only Hope in Angie's palette. And I thought that it came across as a nice sheer transparent shade, just like Angie describes, with a blue purple shift, but mine has like more of a pink shift. Looxi Beauty's shades are just gorgeous, but do pay attention because they will tell you whether they're transparent or more like opaque. Next up, I used Sydney Grace's Concrete Road. I used that really, really beautiful, kind of a cool tone gray purple. I thought that that fit really well. When Angie described that, I was like, ooh, Sydney Grace got my back on this one. And she sure did. She didn't let me down. Winter Moon by Looxi Beauty is what I use to dupe Astro in the Kaleidos palette. This shadow is gorgeous. Just like in Angie's palette, she found this really, really, really silvery, stunning, like stands out type of shade. I found one from Looxi Beauty that I thought really, really fit that bill. I'll use it today in the look, but hers is more silvery. Mine's leaning a little bit more golden yellow, but I feel like if you are going to look for some shadows to dupe this palette because you're not going to spend the $45, or for whatever reason you're just not going to buy the palette, I feel like Looxi Beauty is the place to go and shop for these shadows, because you're going to pick up a majority of the duochrome shadows from Looxi Beauty if you use any of my dupe recommendations. Next up, Concrete Jungle by Makeup Geek dupes the shadow Rock Hopper from the Kaleidos palette. And this is just a stunner. It goes on really, really nicely. I believe Makeup Geek is still hosting their throwback sale, and Concrete Jungle is in there. If not, it will be discontinued, but I do know that the other shade that I have featured from Makeup Geek is still available, so I'll link everything down below in the description bar, so you guys don't have to like pay attention. You can just, you know. Maroon Berry by Coastal Scents is what I found that best duped Cylone. I feel like Coastal Scents isn't the best formula for this particular shadow, but none of my Makeup Geek shadows were berry toned enough. Coastal Scents held it here, but I do have to layer it 2 or 3 times. So this is more of one of those, yeah, I've got the color, don't know that I love the formula of the Coastal Scents for this particular shade. Terra Moons Meteorite shade. Beautiful, beautiful shade. Dupes Celestial in the Club Nebula palette. I think this was wonderful. I see Meteorite talked on Lauren May Beauty's channel, Amy Loves Makeup, lots of other channels. So if you don't already have that shadow and you're looking to pick up Terra Moons shadows, this is probably a good option for you. I do like Meteorite. The formula from Terra Moons for this particular shadow is a little bit crumblier. You do have to work with it just a little bit more, but I find it to be a very, very stunning shade. And the last time I got a compliment in regards to my makeup, I was wearing Meteorite. So, and I rarely get compliments on my makeup just because I don't know why, but I don't. Might be because I have a lot of texture or something like that. But anyways, and I do cake it on, but which is not really the look in the Midwest right now. So, but anyways, I did receive a compliment on my eyeshadow, and I was wearing Meteorite, and I love it. It's beautiful. It is tricky to work with it. There was a little bit of a learning curve, so I fiddle farted and I got there. So Starboy by Looxi Beauty. Yep, it's gonna dupe the Naya shade in the Club Nebula palette. Not too much to say here, just gorgeous, stunning. It's a little bit on the transparent side, and that's what she said that her shade was. I think she said there was 2 shades that were transparent, and I know Starboy is one of them, and I believe she said the other one was Charmed. Okay, Angie uses a salmony peachy shade for Samus, and I thought that I would put a cult classic Favorite by Makeup Geek. It's still available on the website for $1 bill, y'all. Dollar bill, you can own this shadow. Makeup Geek smoothie right there for you. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, but it blends shadows out. It's like the talk of the town. When people talk about peach smoothie, they never have anything bad to say about it. So I used it in this particular dupe. But does it dupe it 100%? No, I would say it's probably in like the 60 or 70 percentile as far as shadows. I did have another shadow that duped it even better, but it was a Coastal Scents shadow, and its formula didn't really nail it. You know what I mean? Dollface by Looxi Beauty dupes Nebula in the Nebula palette. I thought this was a beautiful shade. Pinky gold, peachy shift. Pretty much fit the bill for what Angie described, so I put her in. There you have it. Lastly, Bonfire by Terra Moons is the shimmer that replaces the matte shadow Red Giant in the Club Nebula palette. And that is the only one that I actually dupe, or don't dupe the finish on. So there I just kind of one-upped it, if you will. But you know, Terra Moons is really good in their own right. I do need to open my horizons and really just work with those types of shadows. Okay, so let's get into just a little look. I thought what we would do is just kind of stay within this grungy middle row, and then maybe add a couple of shadows down here, do a halo smoky eye, and pop a couple of these shadows in the middle for a nice zazzy sparkle. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start out with buffing some of the Concrete Road by Sydney Grace into the mobile lid. I'm just going to use like this fluffy brush right here. Woo! All right, Sydney. Wow! I can do it. I stretched for this so that I can blend. And then with a... All right, let me go ahead and just do a little bit on this outer edge too. Wasn't really expecting that much pigment. All right. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go ahead and take this pointed crease brush by Makeup Geek and dip it into that same shade, Concrete Road, and just go ahead and work that on the inner portion of my eye for the halo. And it's kind of the shadow that's blending everything out. We will use a little bit of Peach Smoothie to blend out everything, but for the most part, it'll just be this. Same brush. I'm going to stay with that same brush, and this time I'm going to go ahead and dip into Makeup Geek's Concrete Jungle. Was I saying that this was Makeup Geek's? This is Sydney Grace's, sorry. Same brush though. I may have to switch to a little bit smaller, but I'm hoping not. And just kind of put it in on the outside and just blend a little bit. And then I'm also going to do it on the inside of my eyelid as well. Ooh, give a nice dirty grunge shade. All right, let's try with the Rephr P21. Let's just use some of this shade right here. And it is, I gotta look, Winter Moon. I'm gonna put that in the center of the eyelid and just put it all over the lid, and then we'll put one of those other shades as a topper in the middle. Ooh, this is dry, guys, so just let you know that's dry. It's very pretty, but it's still got that grungy vibe. So it's like, yeah, I would call it, you know, galactical, celestial, that kind of thing. Like it really is. Oh, that's pretty. I feel like this is how I have to use blue eyeshadows, because I have to have like a golden shift, undertone shift to it, because if not, then it's too much blue and it competes with my eyes. Or that's what I feel anyways. And I get really self-conscious that, you know, like my eyes look gray or they look dingy, or like maybe I look like I have jaundice or something like that. I don't know why I think like that, but that's just how I think. All right, beautiful. Oh, that's so gorgeous. I think it looks really good. I'm dragging it up here, just letting the sparkles kind of migrate up above the crease just a little bit as well. Now going in with a Makeup Geek pencil brush, and I think I want to use a little bit of this Sydney Grace Thrilled shade, just kind of deepen up the outer and inner V and kind of blend it over the top just a little bit. So it's really, really teeny tiny. And then just bring just a little teensy weensy bit more. Now I just need to do one more thing. I'm going to just use a blending brush that's really stinking dirty, and it just happens to be a Rephr 15, and I'm going to dip into this Peach Smoothie shadow by Makeup Geek and go ahead and just buff a little of that on the outer perimeter of the eye. Oh man, that just took it from like, yeah, okay, to okay, I might have had a little bit of shadow from the previous look. Kendra's a little behind on washing the brushes. Just so you know, I'm gonna go ahead and also buff a little of that Peach Smoothie down here. All right, y'all. Beautiful. Gonna be back here with some lashes. Okay, we are back with the lashes on, and I did buff a little bit of the Concrete Road by Makeup Geek underneath the eye with the Makeup Geek pencil brush. So that's all I've done so far, but I do want to add just like a little bit more. I want to add a little bit of inner corner and then a little bit to the center of the eyelids. So for that, I will go ahead and take Terra Moons' Meteorite and just, I guess I can try this Rephr brush and see how well that works. But generally speaking, Terra Moons, their shadows are very flaky, so they're best applied, yeah, with the finger. I'm team no finger, but Terra Moons shadows, they just have a very, very particular formula. Oh, home run. Do you see that? Okay, look at this eye. Now look at this eye. Looky there. Looky there. Instant replay. Look at that. That is insane. Let's do it to the other eye. I feel like I could have just put Meteorite on, and that would have probably been okay. And let's do a little bit of inner corner. Am I gonna have to use my finger for it? Let's try the Makeup Geek pencil brush. It's a little bit stiffer. Okay, I feel like that could probably work. This is, there's that one eye that just doesn't get as much. All right, there you have it. Oh, so beautiful. Showed you guys a look here with my Dupe palette. If you guys are interested in picking up the Kaleidos Angelica Nyqvist, excuse me, I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name, I'm so sorry, Club Nebula Palette, make sure you let me know in the comments down below if you're going to pick it up or not. And just a little teensy, before I let you go, not class dismissed yet, I just want to show you guys, or tell you guys a little bit about what's going to happen with my channel. Basically, it's going to be makeup brushes that aren't Morphe. Maybe not so many makeup brushes that aren't Morphe, just because it's really a long process to review, to video, to edit. It's pretty cumbersome, and it's like really painful to edit. Just putting that out there, unless I get like a new computer or laptop anytime soon. So just let you know that. Anyways, also I will be running a little tab up here just for my faithful subscribers who come to watch every video. I just want to start putting a little running tab of all the palettes that I dupe and add up the cost and see how much we save in 2021 by duping some eyeshadows. I want to get out of single eyeshadow debt. Hopefully I have all my invoices, so at the end of the year I will give you guys the running total, and then I will see if I got out of single eyeshadow debt or not. Now, I know that a couple of these shadows, they've already been featured, like these two right here. They've already been featured twice already in 2021, the second time. But, let's just keep it simple for this time around. But at any rate, there's a look that you guys got to see some up close and personal shadows, swatches. I hope I'm making you guys feel much more like a part of my collection, like I want you to feel like. And if I'm your vibe, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to see you in my next video. I'm so excited! Bye.